Imagine you're me. You started out with Battlefield Bad Company, good old times. Or Rush was as smooth as butter. It wasn't perfect, but it was nice. You could do different things and have fun with different classes. Everything seemed balanced. There weren't seasons, battle passes, pay to win stuff. It was good. Then Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out, and that was somehow even better. They like camper. You just bring the whole building down with like 3 rockets or something like that. Tanks were good. Everything was nice. Attack helicopters were good. It was all good. I played hours on that. Oh, Bad Company 2 was so great. The map design, mwah, magnifique. Those maps, oh, I wish they could bring them back. It wouldn't work with 64 players, but we can do smaller conquest, smaller breakthrough. It would work. But man, those maps were good. And then Battlefield 3 came out, and that was great. I feel like Battlefield 3 was good, but also kind of bad, because if you really think about it, you either use the AK or the M16A3, or a couple other guns, but pretty much high rate of fire, and that was it. There wasn't much variation there, especially if you were good. You just use the M16A3, M4A1, AEK, AN94 if you're really cheesy. But overall, though, people knew how to play the game. People were reviving. You guys remember reviving? Yeah, I remember playing Metro, and you just have a revive train. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Why aren't people reviving? I don't get that. But yeah, the revives were good. Recon would put motion sensors down so you could actually see what's going on the map, not these retards half a mile away doing absolutely nothing, or mortars weren't really bad. I don't even think they had mortars. I don't remember. The details are hazy these days. And then afterwards, Battlefield 4 came out. Battlefield 3 had a rough beginning, but it started coming through. But Battlefield 4, whew, now we get into the golden age of, the big Battlefield game. Battlefield 4 was great. I mean, what can you say about it, right? Maps were good, weapons were good, balance was good. Sheesh. Tanks, air was okay. Air was good. It wasn't as imbalanced as Battlefield 3 was, where a jet could just go 100 and you couldn't do anything about it because they were just too fast, and their smoke or flares were always responding. But man, Battlefield 4 can't beat that. That was good. The C4 on the quad and the dirt bikes. It was actually thought played out when with the DLC in both Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. It was great, man. Ranking system was good. I feel like the matchmaking was somewhat good. Squad, you can get in a squad. You know, Server browser, it was all good, man. Like these basic things was good. And so after that, I kind of stopped playing, and then Hardline came out. Man, Hardline is slept on, okay? Hardline, Hardline was so good. You guys didn't realize what you guys had with Hardline. Hardline was clean. Hardline was clean and fun, dude. Like the drive-bys, the weapons, maybe the balance wasn't the best, but you gotta keep in mind, cops and robbers, that's a unique take on a shooter, and I think they did that right. And also, the maps were good, and the gameplay was clean. Like, it was fun. I can't believe it, it had hate. I mean, even driving around the vehicles was fun. Sometimes I would just drive around and run people over. I didn't have more satisfaction than Hardline to run people over in cars. That was so fun. In the cop car and in the Charger, I think they had a Charger, so it was good. After that, I took a break, and then I heard, you know, at that time I was in college, so I couldn't really game a lot. Started my first job, and then I heard about 2042. Oh man, Actually, no. Wait. Let's backtrack. It was Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1. Ooh. Battlefield 1 and Battlefront 2. How about that, guys? I think that was the peak. That was really the peak. Oh my gosh. Battlefield 1, I wasn't crazy about the gameplay, but man, were the cinematics, the graphics, the soundtracks, the guns, it was very true to the historic time. It felt like you were in there. It felt like a movie. That shit was a movie. And you know what? The gameplay was pretty good too. I mean, the horses were a problem initially, but they figured that out. And, you know, riding on the train was so cool. That like armored train with all the gunners and stuff, and in the air gameplay didn't really do it for me. It was a little too slow and kind of kind of boring. Not that competitive. The tanks were great. The vehicles were great. Uh, that Battlefield 1 might have been the last one, guys. The last one. And then you get Battlefield V5. I don't know what you call it. Honestly, I don't remember that one. I bought it, I played it for a minute, and I don't know why, but I just felt like it wasn't it wasn't me. It wasn't meant for me. I mean, I played it a good bit too. I had a good couple hours. I play mostly tanks. But I don't know. I feel like the maps were kind of mediocre. Nothing crazy. So I can't really say much to that. I'm sure you guys have more to say about that. And then I think this is where it went super downhill. Whoever was the guy that ruined this, let me know, cause we need to harass that dude. I know it was some come over corporate douchebag that was like, why don't we do what like Call of Duty does and just extract all the money out of the users? You know, we're not being efficient in how much money we can make. You know, some stupid little key pusher that wanted just more money. Anyway, 2042, the beta dropped, and I already knew it was a disaster. These maps were so big, which is not a problem, but if you design them well, it wouldn't be a problem. But they were designed so bad. So I remember I would just be walking around doing nothing half the time, and it was so glitchy and so trash. That game was just awful, man. I knew it was bad. I couldn't even play the beta. It was that bad. It was so buggy. The maps were so trash. The guns were trash. The netcode was trash. Everything about it was just garbage. So I abandoned the franchise, man. I haven't played it really since then. And yeah, I mean, I heard that they made a crazy turnaround, but it was too late, man. There's no way I'm gonna buy a game $75 3 years after the fact. It's just not. You don't do that. That's like that's like if I bought a car and it drove shitty at first and I had to wait 3 years for it to not drive bad. Like, how does that make sense? It doesn't. It's dumb. And why is that common in the industry, especially in the gaming industry, where they just ship out things that are not polished? And I honestly only played a few, maybe not even 100 hours of 24-2. 24-2 left a bad taste in my mouth. So bad. So bad. That shit was ratchet. You know, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, but apparently later on it was good. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. Fast forward a couple years, I'm working. You know, getting relationship, getting married. You know, a lot of things changed. And then I hear about Battlefield 6 coming around, and at this point, I got other hobbies. I'm not really gaming that much. But you know, a man always wants to feel like he did when he was younger. You know, that nostalgic feeling, that the good times, the simple times. You know, when responsibility wasn't that high, you were just having fun, gaming with the buddies, gaming with the squad. You know, getting on, just getting it done, demolishing people. Well, anyway, Battlefield 6 beta drops, and I play. You know, it was Siege of Cairo, and man, I had fun. It felt good. It felt pretty clean. Not perfect, but really clean. Like, gunfights felt right. They switched up the balance, but I wasn't mad at it, you know. I actually like that supports can supply and revive. I mean, it is a support call, Assault has all the firepower. It makes sense. Recon can spot and do, reconnaissance. And the engineers obviously can handle the tanks and armory. It made sense. Everything was good. The Siege of Cairo map, pretty good. Pretty solid map. I'm not saying it's amazing, but it was very good. So I was excited, dude. I played that so long. Even rekindle friendships. I didn't contact people for like 15 years, and all of a sudden they came out of the woodwork. I was able to find them. We squatted up, and we were able to go online and play. It was great. It was glorious. So good. And then season one dropped. What did they do, bro? What did they do? I don't know. The whole feel of the game changed. It just I don't know what they did netcode. I don't. They said they improved it. I don't know what happened, but man, it's trash. And it gave rise to rat tactics. These rat tactics, man. If you watch my other videos, which you probably haven't, these rat tactics where everyone's just hiding the little holes, waiting for people to go by, and they just gun them down instead of playing the objective or reviving their teammates or doing something of value. Man, I come across that all the time. I don't know. I don't know what happened. The game kind of changed after the season one drop, and then it's like you shoot somebody and nothing happens. You can even get the drop on someone, and they'll still kill you. And then of course controller had the no recoil buff. Imagine that, no recoil. And so like in an unprecedented style, controller players were actually doing better than PC players. Like, how does that even make sense? It shouldn't be that way. Joystick should never be more accurate than a keyboard and mouse. It's just what it is. And I mean, shout out to the controller players that can make it happen. But at the elite level, it's always gonna be PC players. That's just how it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, the netcode was garbage. The maps, they released new maps, and just every map was just mid. Even the recreated maps like Firestorm, I thought I was just gonna enjoy that, but I don't know if it's the balance or just the players, the new generation players. I don't know, but Firestorm is just not that fun for me, even though I used to spend hours and hours playing it. And yeah, so like with Battlefield 6, when I was in the beta, I thought, man, I'll start a YouTube channel. I'll upload so much. I'm getting good at this editing using that DaVinci Resolve. I was gonna do a little dream I had, but then they killed it. They killed it all. I can't even play the game more than 45 minutes, man. I really can't. It's just literally I'll play the game. I'm the top of the scoreboard. All my teammates are like 1 in 10. I quit. I go into a game, I'm doing alright, but once again, like everyone's insta dropping me in a fashion that just doesn't look right. It just doesn't feel right. They are just insta dropping me, like not even a half second. So that just lets me know I was dead before I even realized it. And I just end up just quitting out of games until I get a server that just feels somewhat okay, man. And that's kind of breaking my joyful sanity. And it really killed my YouTube dream, man. I haven't uploaded in months, and although no one watches this, it was fun learning new skills, gaming, and now I can't. But anyway, I'm just gonna put this out there, and if anyone relates, just let me know. And until next time, man, just one more game, bro. Trying to just have one more.